Good day, folks. How you doing today? I'm Mark Anthony. I've got Ariel here down in Florida. I'm here in Atlanta, and today's session is called Ariel. What's the title for today's session again?
I don't know, but we're going to talk all about safety and what it is like to be a safety professional.
Okay. So I got a couple questions for you, Ariel.
Okay,
I
what you got?
think it was something like, "I'm a safety professional. Get me out of here," right? So what's the most bizarre safety incident you've ever had to respond to in this industry? And you should probably
Um,
introduce yourself, by the way.
so hi, my name is Ariel Mitchell. I am a regional safety professional for a slab company that works with granite. So that's what I do right now. I have experience in manufacturing industry along with construction. So works out for me that way. And I have a little bit of food safety as well because I did work in the food industry. So works out.
So a good mix of
Um,
mining, construction, food safety.
mhm. So I would say the craziest experience that I've personally gone through, like me personally, someone stuck
Mhm.
their hand into a moving metal blade fan
Like on purpose?
vacuum. So yeah, so it's a vacuum, and in the vacuum there's a fan, so it can pull the dust, right?
Oh.
So we're in an industrial facility, so obviously
Mhm.
it's made of metal, not plastic. So
Yeah.
this person sees that there's something inside of it. They take the filter off. Don't call um help at all. Don't say, hey, I may need.
A lot of
God, why do
people
I?
take that out or
They're not calling anybody. They're not
okay, you
even
can do that.
calling. They're just not
You can
calling
do that.
anyone. They're not calling the mechanics. So they basically remove the guard,
Mm-hmm.
takes the machine off, and then tries to take the part out, but they couldn't get to it. So they said, now they broke down what they taught to me.
Uh-huh.
They thought they can stick their hand really fast inside whilst it was moving and get it out.
So he thought he was faster than the machine.
Yeah, he thought he
So
was
he's like
faster
a
than the machine.
superhero.
He stuck his hand in a moving blade, and I mean, yeah,
So who
I
won? This sounds like a game of that slap game that
the
we do.
moving blade,
The moving blade.
the
Okay.
moving blade
I'm
one.
just checking. I'm
Yes,
just checking. You never
but it
know.
was just crazy because he didn't call for help at all. And we would say call why am I forgetting these people? I forgot
No,
a
you
whole
can't say names.
department.
You can't say names.
Um
You can call him Edward Scissorhands though.
as of to the times. I don't know, but he was definitely that was not part of his job. So one thing I really do try to train people on is you are paid for your job. That is it. Whether you help out more or you did the best thing in the entire world, the company is
Yeah.
not gonna give you they're
There
not
you
gonna give
go.
you
You're
more
not gonna get a gold
recognition.
car.
It just is what it is. So you taking the initiative, which is great because I respect the fact that you want to do great. You taking
Mm-hmm.
the initiative to try to fix the issue which you are not trained for could potentially put you, and this is
And
how I explain, in the department of being paid 60% versus 100% because when you are injured, workers comp don't pay you 100%. So now you're gonna go home to your individual and have to explain why you are making 60% of that 100% you can make. And I'm gonna be home. And I really do explain it like this because I really just try to put in people's minds like I will be fine. Like safety is not a me job, it's not a you job, it's a us job. And
true.
I'm doing my part by trying to educate you guys. And we are grown individuals, so we're going to make grown choices, be mentally and physically present on the job. Because
Mm-hmm.
I just work industries where, like the industry I work in right now, you make a mistake and you may not be here tomorrow. So
Is that
because we
dangerous?
work in, yeah, so I work in slab. So most times when an injury happens for like a
Mm-hmm.
sister company or something that
Severity
we're
is
not,
like super high. So you can't
yeah,
really
it's
afford to be just like stepping out or doing
no,
your own thing. I'm thinking you know
no,
everything.
because
You know the verify, right?
you're talking about tons falling on you. You're not talking about 10 pounds. So you can't beat that.
Yeesh. You guys using a
Yeah.
lot of clothes
We use
when you hoist?
cranes,
Okay.
hoist. straps. And with one of those things is training the guys and being able to do their daily checks, make sure it's done,
Right.
and make sure that they're checking these straps before they use them. And I mean, something that I even realized, just particularly for my industry, even though we do those daily checks during the day, well, at the beginning of the day, if you're working with a strap that has been used many times, checking it during your shift, not at the beginning of your shift, whilst you
can change, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I've been also employing the employees to look at it as you put it on. Once you finish with something, just take a quick look, because you're talking about 5 seconds that would save you
a lifetime.
A guilt trip. You know, if you did put something on and somebody was injured for your personal life, because if something happened and you could go back just a little bit, would you make a change? And everyone says yes. And just in general, working safely, because if you continue to do that practice over time, it will be something that is embedded into your regular daily schedule.
Like a habit.
And it may not be something that you do every. You may not do it every hour, but maybe at lunch when you come back before you start again, you check, and that do make a difference. So
I like to ask some of the workers, especially for the high risk stuff like hoisting, rigging, overhead crane work. You have signal people, right? So they have to use the signal, the hand signals. But when they're hoisting stuff overhead, they're supposed to use whistles or some sort of indicator to let everybody know. Right? So whistles are pretty good to do that, or maybe a horn even. I often ask myself, why would you want to be lazy about something that could take your life?
So that is the
why would you want to be lazy
question.
about something that could take your life? Why would you? That's like I'm trying to cross the street and I'm too lazy to look both ways. And because I get away with it one time when the road was clear, I assume that it's not worth
you do it again
seconds to look left and look right. And I'm like, well, that doesn't make a lot of sense. It just why would I want to be lazy about something that could take my life?
So I would say for any safety professional who works in any dangerous environment and really just don't sit there and probably work office jobs where they make sure they sit up straight, right? If you actually do something that is aside from ergonomics, I would definitely state that we are paid to pretend that people are retarded. Like the utmost retarded. You yourself retarded. You're supposed to make your program so safe and understandable that the retarded person, and maybe I shouldn't use the word retarded, slow individual who may not, be on point should be able to pick up from this, because common sense is just not common in our industry. And that's what we have to train for. That's really what we have to train for.
That's true.
So
if there weren't any stupid people, we wouldn't have a job. That's fair.
Right? And sometimes
have to train for the lowest level of understanding.
What I tell people is I tell people I'm the slowest person ever, and I explain it the way that I would like somebody else to explain it to me.
Right.
And sometimes I understand, but I just say that so that I can make it a little bit more welcoming to them, to say, hey, okay, well, if she does it, maybe, I want to. So I just put that out there, but most of the things that I do and the way that I train is for utmost nonsensical individual, because I have to think that way. I have to think you don't know. And then I also look at it like safety is for adults, like you're teaching a child. They don't know about safety. So certain things you're gonna have to, go to the 1, 2, 3 steps with them and explain the whys. And that's a very big thing. You don't just walk into an industry, say, hey, this is what you're supposed to do, you're doing it wrong. That's a terrible way to be, a safety leader, because you're gonna walk away, they're not gonna go know the reason why, and they're gonna do exactly what they were doing before.
Exactly.
So by explaining,
and I go back to work.
So it's not what you say, it's just how you say it. So you can get the message across.
That's true. Gosh. So here's another question for you, Ari. Have you ever encountered a seemingly harmless item that turned into a surprisingly significant safety hazard? Ooh.
I would say yeah. I've had those before.
Don't tell me about the guy who stabbed himself with a pen now.
No.
Okay.
I'm actually, this is funny. You worked on this. We had an OSHA event because of it. You worked on
Oh,
the project. Yeah,
oh,
you worked on it.
oh, damn.
The finger event.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So to me, I call that a red flag because I've seen it before. I said
Mm,
something about it, and I felt that company wise, because it wasn't financially suitable at the moment,
right.
the changes that could have been made weren't made, and
Mm,
it allowed employees to do stuff. You
okay.
know, it wasn't the best equipment, it was older equipment. If it were a new piece of equipment which had the guards which came with the machinery, I would say no. But it was an older piece of equipment and we were making guards for it. And I felt at some point in time we just didn't do our part to prevent that incident from happening. That's what I would say.
So you guys didn't like set the tone. So people was like, well, they don't care, so why should we? You'll just do whatever we want.
No, so we did set the tone, but remember when I said just now that we have to think common sense is not common, and that was just one of those moments where the likelihood of somebody actually doing what happened
Mm-hmm.
was not gonna happen.
Okay.
Because you just don't see somebody
Like,
getting a
you
ladder,
you have to be
putting
creative.
putting their hand in something that is 6 feet or above. Like they got a ladder to do that.
How would you even reach that?
Right? And I mean, they were trained on shutting machinery down, things like that. But I think we could have done a better part and maybe a signage,
Okay.
like verbal wording that people can see and understand, not a picture that they may have forgotten and now they don't remember the meaning, and it means nothing to them because they don't remember the meaning, right? So some words, some pictograms do have words. So I usually try to get things with that. Or just, having the supervisor speak to the shift in the morning or in the evening and telling them, reminder, these are our dangers in our area.
Right.
And just something to put to mind, then, you may have had that particular employee not done something that we just spoke about. Or something that was
awareness versus we had one training 2 years ago. That was on you to remember that, everything that we're talking about. That's a fair point. Jeez.
So that's the only reason why. That's the only reason why I would say for me, when that particular situation happened, I started to think of, okay, we were already in that area looking at these machines. So the fact that this happened meant we were aware and we just failed on our part, to me, to do what was necessary to prevent this particular injury from happening. That's how I felt for that situation.
It's like, do you blame the toddler or do you blame the daycare?
I would say it's both on a point, because we did do our training. Yeah, we did do the training. So it was a recent training, like in that year, not even 6 months.
Okay.
So the fact that it was a fresh training, it's something we speak about, it's something that we tell people to ask for help. The fact that we make sure they know not to fix the machinery, call the mechanics, they come fix it. Things like that allow me to say, hey, his part on it, but I do understand. I'm trying to get my job done. I'm trying to keep the line running. I'm trying to do what I've done for the past years because I've worked here.
Right.
But this is how I work. So I also see it as we may have dropped the ball on how we train the employee and them understanding that safety comes first, because if they did, they wouldn't rush to get the job done.
Do you think some employees have like an ego? Like they feel like you're telling them how to do their job and they're like, man, I've been here 20 years, you've been here 6 months. Like, what are you telling me to do? We've always done it.
I'm a girl and I look young.
Ooh.
So it's even worse. So I have a double whammy for me when it comes to being able to just give advice that people really value or it. So I try to be very respectful. And the first job that I had taught me that. I try to correct someone without introducing myself. And then after I corrected them, I walked away. And it was double whammy right there. So I didn't introduce myself and I didn't explain the why. So eventually I ran into the person again and the same thing was happening. And they said, I don't even know who you are. I said, that's so rude. I said, this will never happen again, but thank you for, this experience between us. I hope that I could make, turn this around and make it positive. Hi, my name is such and such and such. I am such and such. And the reason that I had asked you earlier not to do that, and I was in a rush when I did correct the individual, but I do need to understand that I just have to take time to deal with what I have to take time to deal with at that moment. And it may be a 20 seconds, but it makes a difference by saying, hey, so you did this the last time, and the reason that I would not do that is because this could happen.
Okay.
Now,
Put yourself in his shoes.
yeah. Now, you can continue doing this way. You know, I'm going to keep correcting you every time I see it, and it's going to be an issue. We will talk about it. But at the end of the day, if you do get injured, I will be okay. I'm going home at the end of the day. I'm back here tomorrow. I'm making my money. I do not get 60% of my check. It's a whole 100. And somebody was going to, you know, come in and take your job. And, you know,
And it's
that
crazy.
sucks.
It's crazy.
But
Some
it's the
people
truth.
think that, you know, getting hurt is a good thing. They kind of think, well, I'm going to get, well, you know, why am I working so hard? I can get my whole paycheck. They don't realize that you're not going to get your whole paycheck if you get hurt. It's just a fraction.
Yeah, you're going to get 60.
Right? Now you have to get the doctor's appointments. You have all these rules. It's kind of a headache. I mean, why would you want to put yourself at that additional risk? Right?
I mean, I've seen some people do it on purpose, and I've seen some people who, you know, they didn't mean to. And like someone's incident, actually, I do have a crazy incident that I do remember seeing happen. It was one of the first injuries that I ever got where I had to tell someone, you need to go to the doctor. I can't help you. Like, I really thought I could have helped the individual, but I cannot help you.
You're beyond my realm.
You need to go to the doctor. No, it's only because he needed stitches, and I really didn't see that at first, but I had cleaned everything up. I said, oh, dang, it's a little bit deeper than I thought. I can't do nothing. This is gonna just, yeah. So he was wearing, it was simple incident too, which turned out to be crazy. He was wearing regular gloves, and he was drilling, and he made the mistake and put his hand by the drill bit, which sucked the glove up, which caused his finger to get ring on the drill, which I thought just ended up being cut. That's what I thought it was. But his finger got fractured, and they had to break it to fix it. And then on top of that, he had to get 4 stitches, because it was so deep. Like, you could have seen the inside, like the real inside. I said, oh no.
Like the muscle tissue and the bone and stuff?
Yeah. So at first, when I first seen it, because the glove was on, I seen the tissue, and I was like, oh yeah, that's just, you know, it's a little cut. Didn't think nothing of it. I said, okay, come to my office, let's deal with this. He took the glove off. Yeah, cleaned it up. Started looking at it. My face was like, well, we're gonna have to send you to the doctor. But in my head, I was like, oh my God, his finger. He gotta go to the doctor. I cannot fix this. I was like, yo, that is crazy. And, you know, for us, we have to keep this calm, collective look. And it's funny because I have a dry humor. I'm a dry humor person. So I do find a lot of things that not supposed to be funny, a little bit funny.
But you can't laugh in front of the face. I'm not.
But it was funny. It was just a oh my God moment. I have a lot of oh my moments. I just could not believe that resulted in that. It's just, I'd never seen that happen. So now I know, if anybody else, don't touch a drill bit ever when it's moving. It's not going to be good for you.
Just because I can doesn't mean I should. But this brings us to our next question. What's the wildest misconception about safety that you've heard in your industry?
Safety is your job, not my job.
Oh, okay. Oh,
so I am big on safety is everyone's job.
Right.
Like you're gonna think about safety when you close your eyes. You're gonna be like, is it safe to close my eyes right here? Like I want you to remember that your life, like the most dangerous thing you do, I think it's the second dangerous thing you do in your whole life is drive. And you do it every day.
It's more dangerous.
Right. So I'm trying to prep you for life. I'm not just prepping you for coming in this office and working here, moving on. Like you have tools at your house that you have at the job. You got ladders at your house like you got at the job. We have things like if you have a gas leak at the job, it's the same at your house. You're not gonna sit in there and be like, oh, I didn't smell it. I did have an incident like that happen recently. They smelled gas and no one said anything, and they waited until that smell got all the way into the office area for
Stop
somebody
it.
else. I swear to God.
They were just like, don't worry, but that's not my problem.
So I can't really talk too much about it, but I did see. You see the person look at something that they hit and walk away. They came back and looked at it again and then walked away. So it's like he knew
Right.
something was wrong, but then
Right.
he just kind of left it.
Right.
And I have a big
hit and
issue
run.
for that. Yeah. So I tell anyone that I work with, my biggest thing is come at me with honesty. Don't give me a shit show. So I don't want to know when the shit hit the fan, what hit the fan, because I'm going to be with management.
You BS me a little bit, right? Like,
yep, I'm going to be up with higher management looking down like, oh my God, what happened? But if you advise me somewhere on the, it's happening and I don't know what's going on.
Right.
I can come in and try my best. And then when other people are involved, say, hey, it was an issue that was brought to my attention in such and such time. And we have been collectively working as a team to make sure that we could mitigate the issue.
Right.
But at this moment, this is where we're at with it. My timeline to solve it is this, and these are these are steps we're going to do that. But if I have nothing to say,
the problem that happened, plus you lying about it or trying to hide it, or which is a whole, not as an HR issue, but you're making it harder for me to solve the actual problem.
Yeah.
Like it is.
So even when I go because I have to do a lot of site audits, I tell people before I start working, is there anything you'd like me to know? Or is there any safety issues that we have that we can deal with?
Right? Like, and I'm going to find out. So if you know I'm going to find out, just be upfront about it. Right?
So I'm here to help. I'm never there to hurt or, make someone look bad. I ask questions. I really do report things I see or may not like when I hear them. Okay. So if it's something that's safety related and I don't like the way that you said it, and I believe that your management should have a different mindset, I'm going to point that out because I want people to know we have room for improvement. And when we come around next year to look at this again, we shouldn't be in the same bracket. When we have an incident, because we had an incident prior to it, which made me, ask questions. We shouldn't have things like that popping up because there are no red flags. And, things are saying, yes, they're doing this. They have leadership. It's working out.
And if you're doing all this stuff, then this really shouldn't, the odds of this happening is supposed to be super, super low. So when it just happens out of nowhere, did anybody see this coming? No.
Right.
How come? Why didn't we see it coming? You told us that you were doing this, this, and this. If you're doing these things, then this shouldn't happen. So what's up?
That's why I say safety is not a me job, it's a us job. Because it really, really takes leadership correcting people, say something, see something. That's a really, really big thing. I'm just nipping those bad habits in the bud. Like for me, that's my win. When I see that, I correct it. If I see it again, I say, hey, the conversation was between us, but I can make sure this conversation go where it needs to go. I'm going to notify someone else. And, we have write-ups. We can do those things if you want to get there, but I'm not trying to get there. What is the issue? What do you need from me to help you get on point? We could be on the same safe page.
It's me and you against the problem. Ooh, that sounds But I mean, that's kind of how it is. You kind of blame the process, not the person. And most people think when they think about culpability, they think about, I'm going to get in trouble, so I need to cover my butt. So no, it's not just about covering your butt. Because even if you cover your butt, if whatever you're covering your butt from can happen again, that's what we're really concerned about.
So I have had a situation where I've had an employee who works in a particular a job, and they've been trained a particular way. So the way that I would say would be safer, or the way that we're trying to do things, is not the way that they're accustomed doing it.
Right.
And now I have ops managers who aren't even aware that these employees need retraining.
Right.
So this is where I would have to have that conversation and try to make them comfortable enough to say to me, like, if you need more training, we can get that for you. Yes, you've been here for 5, 6, 10 years. Who cares? The point is, what do you need to be successful at this position? What can I bring to the table to allow you to accomplish this job? I'm trying to set you up for success, not failure. So once I do that part of it, I've had some people who will not speak to me and have the worst attitude turn around when they see me, they say hi. Because it made me taking 2 minutes on my day to say hi to them, ask them, hey, how things going? Or they'll tell me this been broken, but it's been broken for 5 or 6 years, so ain't nobody gonna fix it. And then, I come back in and I'm gonna go. Why do I keep forgetting a whole maintenance? That's the department I keep forgetting.
Okay.
I totally forgot this name. Right. So I go to maintenance and I tell the manager I need this, and I start sending emails and follow-ups and don't get followed up. Then I CC somebody else in it. And when I see the individual, I tell them, hey, I'm in the process of fixing it. We're not quite there yet, but I'm working on it. So giving those updates to individuals really do help me. So I've built relationships like that. I've gotten people who've been. I've had a lady I go at where we work with Bill. I don't want to say the name. She does not smile. She does not smile at all. Like, it's not just me. Even Bill says she does not smile. Yeah, he says she doesn't smile. But she wore glasses, and her glasses was unscrewing, and because I've just dealt with it so many times, I bought a little kit and I put it in my drawer because people come and ask for stuff and I just don't have things. Yeah.
So fixing prescription glasses.
Yes, because it's like a little screw, and you're talking about just wanting to tighten it so it stay up properly.
Right.
I'm trying to help you, so you don't have to wear overhead glasses and glasses.
You need a gold star.
So she came and she's like, this is happening. I said, just check me tomorrow. And I had a kid home, so I just brought it in and she fixed it. And we had a good relationship after that. We may not talk every day, but when she do see me, it was a difference because I took the time to figure it out.
You earned her trust.
Yep.
That's really what it is. She probably come to work for years and years and years. Like, I hate this place. These people suck. I'm here for my check. It's the same stuff every day. Nothing's gonna change. One question I started asking during trainings and whatnot, I started asking, would you not want to work in a place that gets better with time? And most people, I said, stop, hold on, think about my question. Would you not want to work in a place that gets better with time? I said, take a minute, think about it, eat a Kit Kat. And I was like, okay, raise your hands if that's a yes. If there's a no, just walk out. And everybody raised their hands. I said, well, here's the kicker. You have the power to make it better. Your feedback is going to make it better. You doing the right thing is going to make it better. You listening to the trainings, I'm not just thinking it's some crap we're spieling, is going to make it better. Everything we're telling you out of all the departments that has trainings, everything we're training you on is to protect you. It's for your best interest.
Yeah.
We're not just trying to teach you how to do a job. We're trying to teach you how to do that job safely without exposing yourself to all the risks. So really, we're kind of your protectors. We're on your side. We're your cheerleaders. We're the water boy or water girl, right? So you help me, help you. If something goes wrong, I'm the one you have to call anyway. So if I can prevent it on the front end, that's what I'm going to try to do. But I'm also here in the back end. I need you to listen. I need you to tell me the truth.
I feel like safety is almost like the union, but we're not the union because we work for the company.
We're the mafia. That's the safety
right? Because it's like supervisors against safety because they got to keep production running and we got to make sure people are safe while they're producing what they got to produce.
Right? Ooh, I'm glad you brought up production because here's our final question, right? You ready for this one?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so final question is, in your experience, what is the weirdest correlation you've seen or witnessed between productivity and safety? What's the weirdest correlation you've come across? Where you was just like, what? Yes, what? What? He thinks that's true? What? And you worked in food, so this would be especially interesting. Ooh, that was a hard one.
Okay, repeat the question one more time. Let me make sure I get it right in my head.
Okay. So in your experience, what is the weirdest correlation that you've seen between productivity and safety? What's the strangest correlation that you've come across from a plant manager or ops manager, or that you in your mind, you're listening to them and you're like, what did he just say? and you're wondering, how did you get this job? How did you? Are you really my boss? Are you? Do I really need to?
I would say I do have to put that out there. I have really never worked with somebody who was incompetent.
Okay, that's good. All right.
I can say that much. But I have heard I just think production and safety, some companies are not on the same page. And I've been in industry, so I've just been real fortunate with my safety jobs that I've had. Most of the safety jobs that I've had a safety thing going on before. So when I come in, safety's already there.
Okay.
Like one of the first great jobs I had people who would come up to me and say, hey, I need to get a glasses because someone doesn't have a glasses. They're helping. So I have people who want to work safe because they understand and they have families themselves. So I have just been fortunate enough to work in really good industries, but the only time that I have seen myself just kind of not seeing that is, and that's just my personal experience. I was working on a safety, we had a safety audit coming up.
Okay.
I needed to get some stuff fixed. I spoke to maintenance. I was given a specific individual who come to me on a particular day of the week. We sit down, have a meeting, talk about the issues that need to get fixed. We come back, he reports to me if they're fixed or not, right? So I'm thinking one person, easy to manage, right? Is a yes or no.
Fixed, yes or no.
Right. Came in, said it's fixed. Me, I'm the type of person where I really don't, I don't really trust people. I just don't. Like, I need to see it because safety falls on me in the back end. Like, I'm going to be the person who gets blamed for not double checking stuff, not making it right, not ensuring.
You can't be like, he told me it was fixed, and then somebody gets hurt because of it. And it's like, well, you should have done your due diligence or something, right? So
in life, the way that I work is I will give a project with a bunch of projects, and after it's completed, due to how it's completed, I would be able to range whether or not I can trust that individual's word. I don't give one job, you get one job done, and now you're like, oh, well, they did that job, so I expect them to.
You treat them
like that.
You're like, everybody got the one they gotta be. Let's say you're doing this little job, and then we'll level you up, and then you'll get the bigger slices of the pie. Okay.
So what I had decided to do was go check my stuff because I need to make sure it's done. And I go check my stuff, and half the stuff is not fixed.
So he
didn't do it. He did not do it. So now I go to my HR manager and I explain, hey, we have this audit coming up. I've been given this individual that I've been working with, and it was said it was done, and I keep going back to all these areas, and half the things are just not done. I'm very concerned considering the fact that it's coming up.
Ancient.
What I was told was, so why didn't you get it fixed? So that is the... Huh?
Let me go get my screwdriver real quick. Let me go get my wrench and screwdriver.
Right?
Let me go get my toolkit
and I'm not an electrician. I've never been trained to be one. No one ever sent me through a class or said, hey, you need to do this for the job. It wasn't in my job description.
I read your job description. They have to moonlight as a maintenance technician on Tuesdays and Thursdays.
So for me, that was the craziest experience that I had seen working in an industry ever, because the level of high expectation really wasn't just let's get this done. It was, it's going to get done and somebody's going to take the fall, and because it's your responsibility, and even though you need help to do it, it's like saying, oh, you need groceries, but you can't drive, but you still got to get to the grocery store. The only way to get there is to drive, get it done. How are you going to get that done? You can't drive.
How far is the grocery store?
12 miles.
I know that one. I'm going to take a couple of days.
But yeah, that was the craziest thing that I had personally experienced. And I just think that was the individual's choice on wanting to choose to do that. I think even if I was supposed to bring that to probably my plant manager and say, hey, this is what I'm being told, it would be an issue, because now we would probably bring in the maintenance manager to try to understand why does the individual who you've given to me is now telling me something is fixed and falsifying information when this is for an audit. So that's really what should have happened, and it didn't go that way. So for me, one hand don't clap. I always say it. It's not hearing nothing. Or you hear that noise, right? Okay, so I can't do it by myself, and it may take certain departments to get to where we need to get to. As long as I know where we're at and where we want to go, I'm willing to get there. I'm not a person who says it's my road or the highway. I just want to get the job done.
And you open to people giving ideas on how to do it. It's not just like, I don't have all the answers, right?
No. Yeah, just
I
want it done.
I'm not an engineer. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a lawyer, right? I know a little bit of everything.
Safely. I don't have much expectations. Done safely. I will help. What do you need? I am all for helping.
Right.
But I will employ you. I will make sure that we know what we're doing versus giving you everything and then expecting like you're supposed to be able to do it after. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you gave us some pretty good insight today. I just found a title from the list, right? So today's podcast title was "I am a safety professional. Get me out of here," right? And we were talking about surviving in the safety industry as a professional. What are some of the crazy stuff we see, and how hard does it make our job? And ultimately, is it worth it? So after everything you've told me today, after everything we've discussed, do you have any regrets about being an EHS professional, about being a safety professional? When you think about everything we spoke about today, you give us a lot of good examples. Do you think that was like, should have gone to law school?
Yeah, I probably make more money. Let's just be real.
Yeah.
But aside from that, no, I really do enjoy my job. Like, I genuinely went into safety because I like safety. I do prefer the sustainable part of it more than I do with the working part of it. But one big thing that stuck with me is my husband started out working in manufacturing from ground up. And I've seen him come home with minor injuries that I wouldn't want someone else to come home with. So somewhere along the line of me doing a job because I needed a job to work, to make money, to live, I kind of grew a heart for people because I know they have significant others at home. And whether or not you don't have a significant other, you have someone who loves you and care about you, whether it be your mom, your dad, your aunt, your uncle, it does not matter. They care. And my job is to get you home there and to advocate for that. So that's why I say we kind of act as a union, because sometimes I would have to say to a plant manager, and I've had to, we're not operating. I've been told by a plant manager before, you should have said we're not operating. You should not have let that supervisor run over you. You should not have let the manager run over you through that. So then I have to make the executive decision moving forward because I learned from my own mistakes as well. I'm shutting you down. We're not gonna make an excuse. We're not gonna try to figure it out. We're not gonna make it work. We're just gonna shut you down. You're gonna get it right.
Fix this because someone is immediately exposed to a hazard and then they can literally die if we continue. We need to fix it.
Yeah.
I think that's what it should be. We shouldn't be sacrificing or exposing people's lives just to make a quick buck, or even.
I agree with you on that, but the particular situation didn't put somebody's life in danger. I put that much out. It just caused a near miss that could have been prevented due to the fact that I had already seen the issue and we were trying to not shut the line down because the whole line was going to be shut down for the whole day versus, find another way that was safer. So we had mechanics on the line whilst the near miss happened, and then we had to stop and have a real discussion. We're going to shut it down because we just spoke about this morning. Now, when near miss happened, the next thing coming is an injury. Should have been shut down. Yeah.
Prevention is better than cure. Okay, Ariel, thank you for your time. I really appreciate you coming on. For everyone here, we're going to have a session every couple of weeks with a safety professional, people with a lot of experience, a lot of skills, who've been in the field, been in the trenches, They've been shooting in the gym, so to speak, right? And we was with them in spirit. So stay tuned. All right.